You are not a failure. I don't care what you did, if you didn't meet your parents' expectations, you got rejected, you scored bad in your exams. I don't care. Whatever you do that makes you feel like a failure, you are not failing. You are not a failure. And let me explain you why. When you think about good stories or like good movies, there is a common point, which is all the protagonists have their good times and their bad times. They usually start off kind of good or okay, and then they go all the way down, rock bottom, and they think that their life is over, like you're game over, whatever. And then they come all the way up again, which is success, but it's usually just like getting back on your feet and doing the right things. And then the protagonist kind of goes down again because of whatever unfortunate events or things that happened, hits rock bottom again. And then they come up again, making the ultimate success. And like that's kind of how the story goes. This is pretty much the same for you as well. I don't know if I explained it pretty well, but life in general, it's not gonna be all good. And also, it's not gonna be all bad. You are gonna be failing at some point, and you are gonna be successful at some point. And that's just for everybody. Like, even if you feel like, oh my gosh, I scored very poorly on this exam, I'm a failure. Or I didn't get into this school, I'm a failure. I didn't get onto this team because of whatever reason, I'm a failure. No, it don't matter. It really doesn't. Because think yourself as a protagonist. Okay? Think yourself as a protagonist. You are the protagonist. You control your life. You are your life, pretty much. And you are the story. You are the part of the story. And you know what? Stories that only have successful stories is boring. It really is. People love to see people's ups and downs, and that's okay. Like it doesn't mean that people enjoy your unfortunate events or unfortunate things, but when you think about people's biographies or movies or novels, they always have their lowest point in their life. And that what makes you stronger, and it really depends on how you cope with that, but it'll make you stronger there, and then you'll have your biggest comeback. I don't want to get too distracted, but let's talk about Japanese for a little bit. So in Japanese, there's a word called ketten. Ketten means negative points, or not so great, like negative character about them. So for example, Taylor Swift. She is a very successful singer and she is great at songwriting, but she can't dance. She can't dance that well. Or Sabrina Carpenter. She's beautiful, she's very pretty, but she's not very tall. Like, you know what I mean? It's like he or she is that, but they lack something. So, ketten, the first kanji, that means, I think my cat's doing something out there. I'm sorry. The first kanji means to lack, and the second kanji means point. So, in every human being, there's a point that they lack, there's a characteristic that they lack. So, for me, for example, I speak two languages, Japanese and English, but I suck. I absolutely suck with math. Or my English pronunciation or my grammar isn't perfect. You know what I mean? Like, it's like that. Everybody has that, and that could make you fail. For example, I sucked at math when I was in middle school, high school, even still. And I failed gazillions of math exams. Like I can't even count how many. Is like every single test I failed. But did that make me a failure? No. I'm here in the US making YouTube videos, although I'm still growing. It's definitely something. And English brought me here in the US and married a American citizen. So even though I can't do math, that doesn't mean I'm a failure, if that makes sense. Like I said earlier, everybody, every single person will have those characteristics that they lack or not so great traits. And that's okay. Like that's really okay. And that could be your strength as well at the same time, which is interesting thing. And the reason why I think that is because, for example, if you are a Swiftie, I am a Swiftie by the way, but if you're a Swiftie, do you relate to Taylor Swift sometimes? I feel like a lot of people do, whether that's through her songwriting or, maybe she can't dance that well and you can't dance that well and you can relate to that. Or maybe some international students out there, if you're watching this, you are able to speak English, but sometimes you kind of struggle with grammar or you struggle with pronunciation and you can relate to me, right? So it's like that. And all those traits that you lack is something that people relate to and make them relatable to you. That's what makes you the stronger connection. I don't know if that makes sense, but whatever you are thinking, I'm a failure? No. That doesn't mean that you're an ultimate failure and you suck at everything. No. There has to be a strength in you. And I know there is. Like, I don't even know you guys, but I know, like, everybody has its good points and its bad points, and that's okay. You don't have to be a perfectionist. In fact, think about your favorite movie. And in that favorite movie, is there a character that's like so perfect? There are no flaws, just a perfect girl or guy. Is that character popular? Does everybody like that character? I don't think so. Usually the protagonist in the movie or novel or whatever, they have their traits that they lack. And they embrace that. And the characters that have no flaws, no bad traits or whatever, they are more of a side characters, if that makes sense. So you are the protagonist. If you have bad traits, that is your strength in a way. So don't take it as, oh, I can't do math, so I'm a failure. Oh, I can't draw an amazing art, I'm a failure. No, there has to be something in you, and you have to point that down because that's what can bring you to success, or it'll attract people around you because you're so lovable and because you're so relatable. It's so cute that you can't do math. It's so cute that you can dance. It's like that. There has to be a people that relate to you. So don't think that you are a failure because you're not. And just point down what you're not so good at and make that as a strength. Embrace it. And it should be fine. It's like all good. It's all good. I was so scared as a kid. Oh my gosh, I can't do math. What am I gonna do in my life? What am I gonna, like math is everything. Everything is made with numbers. What am I gonna do? But am I in danger right now? No. Do I use math every day? No. And you can have someone else to do that for you. My husband, he is pretty good at math, pretty good with numbers. So I let him do it. But also, that's a little tricky because that kind of sets you to the fixed mindset. Like, oh, I can't grow anymore. There's no growth in me. I am born as I suck at math person. That's a fixed mindset. So you don't want to be that. You also want to grow with it. But, sometimes you can be easy on yourself and just have other people do it. The parts that you lack or parts that you suck at. And that's totally okay. So I think this is the final message. And I've been saying it over and over, and I'm a broken record at this point. But you are not a failure. And even if you think you are, that's okay. It's valid. But don't eat that feeling too much because it's gonna get you. And just think it as it is my strength. Like, it is your strength. Your bad traits or whatever that you can't do well, perform well, that is your strength. That is gonna shine somewhere else. So think positively. And I know it's just so easy to say, I know that. But just practicing your mind in a positive way, I think it's so healthy. And slowly but surely, your mind will shift towards, okay, my weakness is a strength. It is a strength. So, yeah, I hope this talk helped you in a way if you're feeling bad about yourself or you're just caught up in your mind and be like, oh my gosh, I'm a failure. No, it's okay. It's really, really okay. And I know it's coming from a stranger. You just click this video, and I am no scientist, I am no psychologist. I mean, I did take psychology when I was in college, but I am no certified psychologist. I'm just vibing here. And I just want to have this message out in the world because I was one of those people too. I was definitely like, oh my gosh, I suck, I'm ugly, I'm stupid, because I can't do math. But no, that is not true. And I finally got out of that rut of thinking in a very negative way. Because why would you be your worst enemy? That is just so sad. Like, you are the only person that you can rely on at the end of the day. You are the only person that you can trust at the end of the day. So don't be too hard on yourself. Don't think that you're a failure all the time because you're not. And yeah, so that is end of the video, and I hope you liked it, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.